The modern version of William Paley's Watchmaker argument for design. In 1802, William Paley famously introduced his watchmaker analogy in his book Natural Theology, arguing that just as the complexity and functionality of a watch implies the existence of an intelligent designer, so too does the complexity of the natural world point to a creator, namely, God. Over time, this analogy has been critiqued and dismissed by many in light of Darwinian evolution and developments in modern science. However, Paley's core argument for the design of the universe remains compelling, particularly when we consider the extraordinary levels of complexity, order, and fine-tuning found in both the cosmos and living organisms. Here, we will explore Paley's argument in light of modern developments in biology, cosmology, and philosophy, and show that Paley's central claim, that nature's complexity and order point to design, still holds weight. 1. Paley's watchmaker argument, a refresher. In his original argument, Paley invites us to imagine walking across a field and stumbling upon a watch. Unlike a stone or a simple object, a watch is intricate, composed of various parts working together to accomplish a specific purpose, telling time. From this observation, Paley concludes that such complexity and functionality could not have arisen by chance. The existence of the watch implies a watchmaker, an intelligent designer who created the object with a specific goal in mind. Paley extends this analogy to the natural world. He argues that living organisms, ecosystems, and even the universe as a whole exhibit far greater complexity and purpose than a watch. Therefore, it is reasonable to conclude that these, too, must have a designer, God. His argument falls within the tradition of natural theology, which seeks to know God through the observation of nature. 2. The Darwinian challenge. With the advent of Darwinian evolution in the 19th century, Paley's argument faced its most significant challenge. Charles Darwin proposed that natural selection, acting over long periods of time, could explain the apparent design in nature without the need for an intelligent designer. Complex biological systems, according to Darwin, could arise through random mutations and the gradual accumulation of small, advantageous changes. While Darwin's theory successfully explains many aspects of biology, for species and genera, it does not adequately explain the origin of the higher taxa, or all the features of natural order and purpose that Paley pointed to. Moreover, even within evolutionary biology, there are aspects of life's complexity that continue to defeat naturalistic explanations, particularly at the molecular and biochemical levels. Darwinian evolution may explain some features of biological development, but it does not explain everything. 3. Modern science and the fine-tuning of the universe. Paley's argument can be significantly strengthened when we move beyond biology and consider modern discoveries in cosmology and physics. In recent decades, scientists have uncovered an extraordinary level of fine-tuning in the physical constants that govern the universe. If any of these constants, such as the gravitational constant or the strength of the electromagnetic force, were even slightly different, life as we know it would be impossible. Fine-tuning as evidence of design. The precise balance of forces necessary for the existence of life is difficult to explain by chance alone. The fine-tuning of the universe suggests that certain physical constants were set with a specific outcome in mind, the creation of a life-permitting universe. This has led many scientists and philosophers to conclude that the fine-tuning of the universe is evidence of design, echoing Paley's original argument that complexity and purpose in nature point to a designer. Multiverse hypothesis. Some scientists propose the multiverse hypothesis as an alternative explanation for fine-tuning. According to this view, there may be an infinite number of universes with varying constants, and we just happen to live in the one where the conditions are right for life. However, this hypothesis is speculative and lacks direct empirical evidence. It also raises further questions. If there is a multiverse, why does it exist at all, and what mechanism governs its creation? And, the multiverse itself requires an origin and fine-tuning, so it does not solve those problems for the atheist. 4. The complexity of life. Irreducible complexity and information. Another area where Paley's argument remains relevant is in the discussion of biological complexity, particularly at the molecular level. The concept of irreducible complexity, popularized by biochemist Michael Behe, shows that certain biological systems, such as the bacterial flagellum, are too complex to have evolved through gradual steps because they require all of their parts to function. If even one part is missing, the system fails to work. This poses a challenge to Darwinian gradualism, as systems like this must appear fully formed to function. Biological information. Modern biology also reveals the existence of complex information systems within cells, most notably the DNA code. DNA is essentially a set of instructions for building and maintaining life, written in a highly specific and detailed language. The presence of this biological information raises the question of how such detailed instructions could arise through random processes. Information typically points to an intelligent source, as we see in human languages or computer code. This adds weight to the argument that life's complexity is not a coincidence but the result of intentional design. 5. Philosophical considerations. Is the watch at the end a coincidence? The watch at the end of Paley's analogy, the intricate system of the natural world, cannot reasonably be explained as a mere coincidence. While biology has provided mechanisms like natural selection and random mutation to explain microevolutionary aspects of life's development, these mechanisms do not address the deeper questions of origin, purpose, and intelligibility. The question of origins. How did the universe itself come into being? Why is there something rather than nothing? These are philosophical and metaphysical questions that science alone cannot answer. The very fact that the universe is intelligible, that we can study it, understand it, and make predictions based on its laws, indicating that there is a rational mind behind it. A purely materialistic or random universe would not necessarily produce such order and rationality. Purpose and teleology. Paley's argument hinges on the idea that natural systems exhibit purpose. They are not just complex, but they are complex for a reason. The fine-tuning of the universe, the functionality of biological systems, and the presence of information in DNA all show that nature is directed toward specific goals. This is the concept of teleology, the idea that things are directed toward an end or purpose. Purpose, in turn, points to a purposer, a mind that has set the universe in motion with specific goals in mind. 6. Resurrecting Paley's argument. In light of modern discoveries in science and philosophy, William Paley's natural theology can indeed be resurrected. His argument for design is not necessarily undermined by evolutionary theory, rather, it is broadened and deepened when we consider the fine-tuning of the universe, the complexity of biological systems, and the presence of information within life itself. Not a coincidence. The watch, at the end, the universe and the life it sustains, is far too complex, finely tuned, and purposeful to be a mere coincidence. The deeper we look into the mechanisms of the cosmos, the more we see evidence of a designer who created it with intention and purpose. Whether we examine the structure of a single cell, the vastness of the cosmos, or the precise balance of physical constants, we encounter systems that are best explained by a rational, intelligent mind. A case for theism. While some may argue that science can explain much of the natural world through physical laws and processes, theism provides a more complete explanation by addressing not just how the universe works, but why it exists in the first place. Paley's watchmaker analogy points us beyond the material world to the existence of a God who is both the creator and sustainer of all things. Conclusion. In conclusion, William Paley's natural theology, the idea that the complexity and order of the universe point to an intelligent designer, remains a powerful argument even in the age of modern science. The fine-tuning of the cosmos, the irreducible complexity of biological systems, and the presence of information in DNA all indicate that the universe and life are not the product of random chance but of purposeful design. The watch, at the end, is not a coincidence, it is a reflection of the mind of God, the ultimate creator and sustainer of the universe. By resurrecting Paley's argument, we are reminded that the natural world is not only beautiful and complex but also profoundly intelligible, pointing us toward the existence of a divine designer. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.